Wow. What's up, Laker family? It's your boy Details back with another post-game recap. As Lakers, they managed to top themselves in embarrassment yet again, falling to the Phoenix Suns 127 to 100. Okay. Um, where do I start with this catastrophe of a unit? Where do I start with this catastrophe of a team? Right now, we are beating ourselves, chat. From the beginning, again, another crappy second half. We don't give ourselves a chance to compete ever. The rotations are off now. The chemistry is off now. The starting lineup is off now. We don't have an opportunity to win games. And a lot of it, I'm going to place it on the players, but I got to say, JJ Redick has really disappointed me these last couple of games, especially. That starting lineup, I've been telling you guys, I told you pregame, is so much better with the floor spacing when Dalton is out there. The last good game that LeBron and AD really had was that last game that Dalton started. AD had 39 points and LeBron had 33 respectively. Since then, neither of the two have been able to get to where they need to be. Okay, neither of the two. And even AD's numbers today were not impact numbers. 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks. Sounds great, but I told you I needed at least a 30 piece from him. And then LeBron only with 18 points on 7 for 16 shooting with 10 assists, 8 rebounds. They definitely padded their stats tonight. That's about all they fucking did. They did. This team did not deserve to win tonight. Okay. But I understand we have a lot to fix on this roster. I get that. I get it. But we had something good going on our 6-game win streak. People will say, they'll make all the excuses in the world. They'll say, oh, we played trash teams and all that. Partially true. But one thing I noticed that JJ has done is he has relegated from where he started. All right. Because he started with the same, similar to Darvin. He started really aggressive with the players, benching D'Lo, sometimes not even giving him 20 minutes, to now allowing him to close games. He had 29 minutes. Whatever happened to finding Dalton more minutes? He only had 19. And he lost his rhythm and his confidence, which is what I was afraid of. All right. He was averaging 23 points per game, shooting over 50% from the field. And the starting lineup, guess what? He had 7 points off the bench tonight, 1 for 4. Now, nobody's saying Dalton is our savior. Nobody's saying Dalton is the only reason we stinking it up right now. Our 2 stars have not been leading by example. They have not. Our 2 stars are coming out here lethargic. LeBron James turning the ball over again in situations where he shouldn't, not taking care of the basketball, losing momentum, giving up transition buckets. He had 5 turnovers again today. After the last game, he had 6. Not taking care of the basketball. AD had 3 himself. They combined for 8. All right. And we're not getting the same aggressive Austin we were getting. Now we're settling for threes. He was 2 for 6 from beyond the arc. D'Lo is an atrocity to mankind. He shouldn't even be in the NBA, right? 5 for 13 from the field, 1 for 6 for beyond the arc. Just an absolute scrub. Minus 24 on the team. Him, LeBron, and AD were all minus 24 or more. And we completely got outplayed from the beginning. I mean, this team right now sucks, man. This team right now is not doing anything that they were doing when we were on that win streak. And matter of fact, I knew it. I told you guys as soon as they made that roster adjustment that they switched over the starters. As soon as they did that, we lost all chemistry we had. The glow that we had about ourselves when we had Dalton connect the starting line, the floor spacing. Guys, we have not got to 120 since then. The last game we got to 120 was the last game that Dalton started. And we are now in a 3-game losing streak. And by the way, we just lost our first ever end-season tournament game. So when it rains, it pours. It continues to get worse and worse. But, people thought I was overreacting when I said, uh-oh. Go back and watch my video. Before we even got on this 3-game losing streak, I said, uh-oh. Big mistake benching Dalton connect. Now you guys see why. Why, right? Everything was so much better when we had the floor spacing. Now even his confidence seems a little shot. Chosen Fit said, Rui soft, D'Lo soft. We have no defense. Trade both. I'm with it. But I've been saying I'm willing to trade anybody outside of AD, LeBron, Dalton, and Reeves. I've been said it. I'm willing to make a trade. I don't know if the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, will make a trade. He's on the final strike for sure. Thanks for Super Chat, bro. I appreciate it. But I don't know what Rob is doing right now. He's been sitting on his hands so much they smell like ass right now. But he's got to get his thing together, man. Whatever he's doing, do it. Because this is honestly embarrassing effort by the Lakers on both ends of the basketball. We barely got to 100 points. Barely. Meanwhile, we gave 127. We got 30 piece, basically. 30 piece by the Phoenix Suns. By the way, the Suns had lost 5 in a row. Of course, Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal came back today, but it just is it's embarrassing. The effort isn't there. We look like a way worse team all of a sudden. The floor spacing isn't there. The chemistry isn't there. I've always been a proponent of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I told you guys this when we had the perfect starting lineup out there when Rui was hurt. Soon as he came back, it kind of ruined the chemistry, guys. People say, well, people now, where are those people that were telling me, hey, well, what did Rui do to deserve being demoted? It's not about what he did to deserve it. It's about the betterment of the team and the floor spacing and the fit was so much better. And people telling me, well, we lost this because of defense. Yeah, sure. But we've been playing shitty defense all year long, and we were still 4 games above 500 until tonight, right? 3 losses in a row. And to be honest with you, we started spiraling downward since that horrendous loss versus the Orlando Magic. That's the one that really started everything. That's the one. But that's all it takes sometimes. Sometimes it takes one really bad loss to start a trickle effect. But I'll be honest with you guys. The Lakers had no business winning this game tonight. They did not. Outside of LeBron James, who started the game with effort, but then started making knuckleheaded plays, nobody else really brought that intensity. D'Lo gave us a little bit of energy early on, but he always, again, his shot has been horrible. He got his 15, so he's happy. But he's not. We're not playing for each other, especially on the road. Tonight, the Lakers, they only had how many assists? Let me double check here. We only had 25 assists. Meanwhile, Phoenix had 31. All right. Always a team that distributes the ball better wins the game for the most part. We continue to struggle as well on the glass. They keep getting offensive boards. We keep getting out rebounded. Tonight we are rebounded 46-42. The free throws have been disgusting. We shot 18 for 25, only 72%. We got to get that up to about 80% at least. 3-pointers, don't even mention them. 8 for 34 from beyond the arc for 23%. Meanwhile, we gave up 40%. I mean, there was no way we were winning this game, and we didn't deserve to win this game. What I'm disappointed in is the fact that we were advertised a coach that wasn't going to give a damn, and he was going to not worry about people's feelings, and he was an asshole and this and that. And all he's been doing is catering to D'Angelo Russell by playing him more minutes than Dalton Connect. He's been catering to Rui by starting him over Dalton Connect. He's just catering to certain players. None of those players that I mentioned have dropped a 37-point game. So why are they getting more minutes than Dalton? And the fact that Dalton isn't really getting 30-plus minutes a night, he only had 19. Way to kill a rookie's confidence. There goes his chances probably at Rookie of the Year. Meanwhile, you got the 76ers losing, but at least they're developing that young piece. It's really frustrating, chat. It's gotten like every year a coach comes in, gives us a little bit of hope, and then rips our heart out. Like, why would you do it? You have a transcendent talent potentially on your roster, and you're not giving them the green light, right? This reminds me again of when James Borrego didn't let LaMelo Ball fly. He kept benching him, and that's why he got fired. This also reminds me, who else? Del Harris, who didn't let Kobe Bryant fly, then he got fired. Don't be that coach, JJ. I really expect tomorrow for him to start Dalton Connect. I'll be highly disappointed in JJ if he doesn't do it. I'm already disappointed. We lost 3 in a row, partially due to the fact that he'd rather cater to players and actually play the best combinations on the floor, because I think anybody could see that Dalton, LeBron, and AD was the combination, right, with Austin out there. Everybody could see it. Roberts, thank you for super chat, bro. Said Rob likes the smell of shit. Trade all this trash. We do have a lot of very unusable players. Credit to Diehard, who on playback mentioned. And when you realize it, we have a lot of dead weight. I mean, we got Bronny, who's not going to get any minutes this year. We got Jalen Hood-Schifino, who should have never got drafted by the Lakers. We have, who else? Maxwell Lewis is on a contract as well, who doesn't seem to be ready for the Lakers either. Meanwhile, you got Maxwell Lewis on a 2-way contract where he really should be called up for the Lakers. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. The politics ain't politicking, man. It's not fitting in. This team is very soft, and our leaders are very soft because they're not holding everybody accountable. They should be yelling and screaming instead of being all quiet on the sideline. I need to see these dudes on each other's chests, pushing each other and shoving each other to bring some life out of each other. Like, it is sad, bro. This and I mentioned it throughout the year. This type of Laker team is very confusing because we're the type of team that can win on any given night and also lose on any given night. And we're seeing that now. We won 6 in a row. Now we giving it back by losing 3 in a row. Like, come on, man. We had something good going, and the coaching staff messed it up. RZ said, I love this team, but we need to trade for defense. We've had no defense all season long and somehow still managed to be winning. Somehow, we still managed to have a winning record. Now, when you throw that away and you bench that, good luck. The chemistry isn't there. Rui Hachimura has not been consistent as a Laker. All right, everybody want to say Rui should start. Rui should start. Well, let's go look at Rui's numbers tonight, okay? Because Rui Hachimura, I told you guys, gave us a 7-point game, 3 for 8 from the field, 1 for 4 from beyond the arc, with only 1 rebound, 1 assist. That's it. That's it. That's not going to cut it. Dalton had the same numbers on less shots, 7 points, and less minutes, right? So clearly, who should be starting, guys? Forget about the favoritism. Go with who should be starting. But again, this team now drops its 3rd straight game to bring us back down to 10-7 in a very competitive Western Conference. That's just not good enough. We had a golden opportunity to put our foot in the Western Conference throat and step on the gas. And what happened? What did we do? We dropped the ball. By the way, I got to call out AD, man. AD should have been having monster games after dropping that game at the line versus the Orlando Magic. 25 and 15 sounds nice number-wise, but it wasn't an impactful 25 and 15. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't come in a timely manner. They weren't. It wasn't. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. It didn't feel like 25 and 15 with 4 blocks. It just didn't. And it almost felt like, okay, he's just going through the motions and he's getting his points, right? My guy said, putting DK doesn't fix the defense and effort. Listen, neither is taking him out. So why not leave him out there? We can't even get to over 100, bro. We can't even get to over 100. Let me see if I can find the games again, because you know what? The last couple games the Lakers played have been different offensively. They're the same. Again, the Lakers have not been able to get the same open shots, the same ISO ball that they were getting. Look, check this out. When Dalton Connect played, when he started for the Lakers, right? 124 versus Utah Jazz, right? We had 104 versus the Pelicans, but that one we didn't need a lot of offense. We held them to 99. 120 versus the Spurs. 128 versus the Lakers, right? 123 versus the Raptors. You see the pattern? Floor spacing was better. Even though we weren't playing that much defense, we were still playing a lot of offense. Now look. 102 versus the Nuggets. 100 versus the Suns. Like, we just gone backwards. We've just gone backwards the last couple games. So what I'm saying is the floor spacing was better at least. We still need to fix the defense. Getting a backup big man is going to help. Bringing Bando back, if he's ever healthy, would help. A lot of things could help, man. I'm not saying Dalton fixes everything, but let's be honest. Why would you bench a rookie that just went off for 37 points about a week ago? Does that make sense to you, fam? That's my only gripe. And that lets me know that JJ still has a lot of growing to do. I like him as a head coach, but I don't love him this week as much as I did last week. Like, it's really disappointing. David Prim says Dalton is like Mark Wahlberg in the movies of the other guy. He's a peacock. I just got to let him fly. Big facts, bro. It's not hard to see right now that our floor spacing and overall ISO ball game was better, and even chemistry was better when he was out there. CJ says, what do you think of trading for Levine right now? Better to have a 3-star level player than 4 role players that don't give you anything. I'd even do Trey Young. Trey Young, Zach LaVine, anybody like that, I'd do it. But it still doesn't solve what we need, and I believe what we need is our stars to be tougher mentally, man. They're getting out here destroyed by Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. The other night, Jokic and Kevin Porter Jr. Who else is going to destroy us, man? Who else? We got outplayed by a young player in Franz Wagner. It's been a downward spiral ever since. It's disappointing. There's no pride with this team. They just don't care. They have Russell Westbrook syndrome. And it starts with players like D'Angelo Russell. We got to get players like that off the team ASAP. It's embarrassing, man. Ben Simmons says, I know it's early, but I'm calling for Rob's job. Oh, it's not early. I've just been very patient. I gave him 2 strikes already. He's on 2.5. You don't make a trade by this trade deadline, I'm calling for his head right here on the live stream, man. I think we've been very patient with him only because he won a chip in 2020. So I've given him a lot of grace, but it's overdue, man. It's overdue. And the fact that we didn't do anything this offseason really hurts this roster and this team moving forward, right? We should have did stuff in the offseason to obviously there's a lot. You can see there's a lot of dead weight on this roster. Gabe Vincent hasn't given us nothing all year. Max Christie has been a huge disappointment. Ronnie James, as we knew, was going to be a project. He hasn't played at all. We can't even use him. Maxwell Lewis also taking up a roster spot. Can't use him. And Dalton, the guy who should be getting more minutes, is getting less than guys like D'Lo. We're all over the place. We started off good, and now we've taken, again, like I said, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It feels horrible as a Laker fan to see the potential we have, because we have that potential. It's there. We've made some terrible mistakes over the last week or so. He said, let's be real. We depleted teams early on. 76ers, Grizzlies, Pels. Lakers look different against legit teams who are semi-Magic, Denver, Suns. Well, yes, the competition did get better, but you can make the same argument about the Warriors. You still have to beat the weaker teams. I agree with you, though. This is why we needed to test ourselves against this competition. It's apparent more than ever. But I've always said we've still been like a trade or two away. I've never said this team is a championship contender as is. I just said I really like what we were doing with Dalton, Austin, LeBron, and AD. What we were doing during that stretch, I think, was the right key, which is part of the reason why we went on a 6-game win streak, right? Part of the reason why. But we went away from what was actually working, and we deserve to get destroyed. And look, our first in-season tournament win, that can no longer be our claim to fame. I'm glad, in a way, I'm glad we got this destroyed today and the last game, because this team needs a serious reality check in the sense that our stars have to lead by example. They haven't been doing that lately. Our stars have been struggling to lead by example, starting with AD. He's supposed to be the MVP this season. Last couple games, matter of fact, last 3 games, he hasn't looked like that, right? We're nobody in Lakers Nation is talking about him right now as an MVP candidate anymore. What changed? The first month he was sensational. What changed? That's always been the problem with Anthony Davis, is his mental fragileness. And I love AD, but man, that's the difference between him and Giannis. Giannis always goes at 100, right? And check it out what JJ said. JJ says the Lakers may have to reconsider their defensive strategies after tonight's game. He says the Suns' offense was getting whatever they wanted against his team. No shit, Sherlock. So yeah, we know exactly what this team needs. We know the defense got to be better. We don't have the makeup for our defense to be better unless you're planning on having a 2 big man lineup, right? And LeBron, what's going on with LeBron's turnover? Some of these are careless. It's like he don't care. I understand what LeBron fans will tell me. Well, he's just putting it in cruise control and he'll step up during the playoffs. No, we need LeBron to be an intelligent, cerebral player at all times. We know he doesn't have the same athleticism he had 3, 4, or even last year, years ago, right? But that's when he has to be smarter with the passing, with the decision making, with what shots he's taking. But man, just horrible, man. And JJ's right. We gave up whatever they wanted. They got it. Booker 26, 23 for Bradley Beal, 23 for Kevin Durant. Why is it that other stars on other teams tend to go off, and our stars, all we got was 25 from AD, only 18 from Bron and 15 from Reeves? That's not enough. That's not enough. I don't even care about the 16 by D'Lo because he gives up 16 by his own position, by his lack of defense. So Reddick said that it's possible that it's easier for Dalton Connect to get better rhythm as a starter than it is something he and the coaching staff are going to consider. Thank you. Fucking thank you. JJ, I'm going to retweet it right now. I've been saying it. People want to argue with me. Thank you. And I'm telling y'all right now, man. I said it before this man even made the adjustment. That's what pisses me off. I wish we had a coach who can see things before they unfold, like us fans can. How is it that us fans can see something, but then a coach fails to see it? Bro, you're in the front lines. You get front row seats to the damn game. You should be able to see everything even better. You're at the practices. You're calling the shots. Of course, he catches a better rhythm because he's going to get wide open shots with star players. It's common sense. I said this. My goodness, man. I'm glad he finally admitted it. Everybody that wants to give me pushback, even your head coach just said it. He catches a better rhythm with the starters. All right. It's something they're going to look at. Yes. But not only that. And I told you, I expect to see him in the starting lineup by next game. I expected him to be in the lineup by this game. But it's obvious that all the starters play better when you have a floor space. So we look like a modern NBA offense. Man, it's oh my God, man. It's so frustrating. It was like a vindicative moment when I see this text pop up by Jovan Bua saying, that exactly. It's vindicating because everybody want to argue with me, bro. I know ball. I know what I'm talking about, fam. I've been saying it for before he made the actual decision to bench him. I said, First mistake, right? Don't do that. My goodness, man. Pats for Blackheart, appreciate you, bro. He said AD playing center will eventually break him down. It's obvious. Bron definitely looks old, and I think playing the Olympics has a lot to do with it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. You know what? We knew the Olympics was going to wear them down, but look, I'm not going to make no excuses for them because they got to play smart. AD came in the game, he's fading away. You know, he's settling for jump shots that he shouldn't be settling with. And he still got his numbers, but it just didn't feel like an impactful game by him. It just didn't, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, but you know, you're right. You're right. They did play in the Olympics. So that's why role players got to be better. That's why LeBron has to be more of a playmaker than a scorer. Right? Right there, he's better than Ham. Let's see if he keeps his word. Yeah, at least he can recognize when he's making mistakes, CJ. Facts. But I can recognize when he's about to make a mistake. Maybe I should be hired on the goddamn coaching staff. I'll tell you, man, I would have told him, do not bench Dalton. He's averaging 24 points per game. You would think that's a no-brainer. If a rookie comes in and starts and averages 24 points a game versus when he comes off the bench, he's averaging 9, you obviously want to keep him out there. You know, you obviously, it's like common sense. This is why I am disappointed in JJ. And people might say I'm overreacting this early in the season. No, I'm disappointed because I'm expecting the world from him. He showed it to me when we went 3-0 to start the season. Then he showed it again to me when he went 6 straight games. You know? And now you want to go and demote yourself by making the wrong decision. Now we can't get to 110. Right? Basketball is a beautiful sport because one player in the lineup can make a huge difference. It can make the whole difference offensively. Now, I agree with all you guys. Defensively, we still suck. We're bottom 25 in the league. We're giving up 120 consistently. We still have to improve. A lot of people are relying on Vando to come in and help us out there. However, I'm not going to rely on just one player. We still have to make a trade. Saying that since the offseason. This team is begging for a trade. I've been saying that since last trade deadline. Right? So it's like, come on, fam. Like, what are we doing? Obviously. And I'm glad. You know what? That makes me feel a lot better about this loss. If JJ can take a cue and realize that, hey, you know what? JJ in the starting lineup not only makes him better, but it makes us all better. Let me make that adjustment. Then, okay, I salute you, JJ, because everybody makes mistakes, right? I don't expect the coach to not make mistakes, but I expect the coach to make the adjustments, right? To make the adjustments on those mistakes. I almost got a heart attack when I read that shit, man. And JJ Reddick says the Lakers are going to have to look at changing their defensive schemes. I already read that one. We'll see, because it takes a better team to play better defense. It's not just, you can't just switch your defensive schemes. The Kendrick Perkins calling out LeBron James too, talking about Brown was horrible tonight defensively and his body language was unacceptable. Facts. And I'm glad that he's getting called out. I'm glad, but everybody should be called out because I didn't like anybody's body language tonight. Right? Comments, questions, concerns, talk to me, chat, because you know what? I think I spoke my piece here. Now, the Lakers do have a game tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. versus the Spurs, right? And that's not going to be an easy game either, right? Last time we barely beat them. The Spurs are tough. They just beat the Utah Jazz tonight, 128-115. So I'm looking for a dogfight tomorrow. They're young too. They're getting up and down. They got a veteran in Chris Paul who's leading them. Come on now. Dan, I saw your post on YouTube about the Bulls looking to trade LaVine. Do you want him on the Lakers? I don't think more scoring is what we need. However, floor spacing would help. I'd much prefer him over D'Angelo Russell. I'd much prefer him over Gabe Vincent and all those guys. So we can package a couple of those guys to get him. Yes, we do have a lot of dead weight on this roster. A lot of guys that aren't playable. We have a lot of guys that have the horrible body language. Like Shando said, Dan, do you ever get more comments that you're more entertaining when you're angry? Man, no. Yeah, I've had a couple, but man, that's neither here nor there, bro. You don't want to see me angry because that means the Lakers lost, bro. Like, I don't like to be angry. That's very frustrating. At what point does Rob make a move? This is ridiculous. He expired a year ago as far as making a move. He should have been made a move since last year. Like, come on now. He should have been. Everybody knew that. We knew we weren't going to get far in the playoffs if we didn't make a move. And sure enough, we don't make a move. We go up against Denver. We get gentlemen swept. Why is it that the fans can see stuff that the front office cannot? My theory, and I said this tonight on playback, is that Rob Pelinka is afraid. He's scared. He's petrified of making move because he knows that he's on his last days, and he knows if he makes the wrong move like he did for Russell Westbrook, not only is he out of this job, but he'll never get a job again in the NBA. He'll be known for the guy who traded for Westbrook and somebody else who's bad. And he doesn't want that, I'm sure. But scared money doesn't make money. As long as the Lakers are sitting on their hands, man, ridiculous. But I appreciate the super chat, my brother. It's just it's sickening that the Lakers have so much potential, you know, and man, let's see here. The league doesn't like the Lakers. Is going to be tough to make a move, especially when these players are so ass. Well, we do have something the league wants, Solo. We have draft picks, and we have young players. As you can see, our throwaways turn into gems on other teams. Let me give you a perfect example. The Lakers could pitch to the Jazz, hey, take Jalen Hood-Schifino off our hands. Who knows? Maybe he might be the next Scotty Pippen Jr. We just don't have time to develop him with LeBron, which is why I'm still mad at the Lakers for taking that pick. Not only have they not developed him, but he looks like a bust right now because of how underdeveloped he is. And that's sad. I never like to call young players busts. But look, the league can look that the Lakers are great at drafting talent. They just don't know how to utilize them properly, like the way we're misutilizing Dalton Connect. Do you guys think any other team in the NBA would be benching Dalton after he dropped 37 with 9 3-pointers as a rookie? Just saying. I'm not sure too many teams around the NBA would be doing that. You know what I mean? So just look at everywhere you look. Ex-Lakers balling out, man, all making a career for themselves, from Josh Hart to Jordan Clarkson to Kuzma to Julius Randle to now, Scotty Pippen Jr. to Jay Huff. Who else is Alex Caruso? The list goes on and on. The Lakers are a great farming system for young talent. So believe it or not, Solo, we do have pieces that teams want. They just try to pretend they don't want them so they can get them on the back end for free or cheaper, right? And that's the frustrating part, is that Rob Pelinka might be the real problem. It might not be the fact that they hate the Lakers. It might be the fact that they hate Rob Pelinka and they're trying to get those players for free when Rob Pelinka cuts them, right? I don't know, but it is disappointing to see guys like Scotty Pippen Jr. just dropped a 30-point night the other night. I always knew he had the talent. I used to tell my friends all the time when they used to text me. I used to tell them, watch out for Scotty Pippen Jr. He has a great motor. I like the kid. He's feisty. I used to call him Scotty Pimpin. I only give nicknames to the players I like. And they let him go. Now, look, he's actually become a ball player for the Memphis Grizzlies. And that's something we got to call the front office on, too. We've let a lot of young talent go, right? A lot of young talent go. Let me see what he's averaging this season. I'm very curious to see what Scotty Pippen Jr. is averaging. 12 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. Scotty Pippen is who we thought Gabe Vincent was going to be. So instead of signing Gabe Vincent, we could have kept Scotty Pippen for cheaper and developed him into a nice young role player. Look at that. 12 points and 6 assists with 4 rebounds. Can you believe that? We let that go for free, for nothing. And instead we got guys who we're not utilizing, like Jalen Hood-Schifino, right? I'm still puzzled by why we drafted him over the guys we could have drafted last year. I'm still mad about that, right? Anybody could see it, Mike. Anybody could see that Scottie Pippen was going to be the real deal. Like, we could see it. It was only a matter of letting him go, and Darvin Scam never gave him any opportunity, which is why, it was frustrating to watch. Solo said most of those former Lakers are balling out are the same players that we wanted traded. Now we want them back. No, I never wanted Scottie Pippen gone. I never said Scottie Pippen Jr. is a bum or a scrub. He just never got opportunity. Just like some young Lakers, like Quincy Oliveri, for example, right? If the Lakers don't take advantage of him and convert him into a regular contract eventually, he might end up like Scottie Pippen. He might be the next thing. Goes to another team. Now, players I wanted gone are players like Russell Westbrook. Those are I never want players who give full effort gone. And that's one thing Scottie Pippen always gave us. He always gave us effort and energy. Even when he had bad games, the energy was there. The defensive intensity was there. The ability to attack was there. Like, come on now. Let's see here. Now, here's the thing. It could be Rusty. It could be that he's underdeveloped. That's what it could be. Now that I look at it, the more I look at it, yeah, he looks like a bust right now. But what's to say that the Jazz or the Brooklyn Nets don't get him and actually develop him? I think the Lakers have done a horrible job of giving young players opportunities ever since LeBron came to town. That's why a lot of current Laker fans want LeBron gone, because they feel like he's impeding all the young players' progress. Now, while I don't agree with this being LeBron's fault, I do agree with Rob Pelinka needing to do a better job of keeping the same talent he's developing. Otherwise, we're just becoming a farmer's market for other teams. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. This team has been doing great at acquiring young, talented pieces, but they haven't done a great job of using those young, talented pieces. Matter of fact, one might argue that all the players that we drafted have better careers when they leave. Right? So, again, very disappointed in tonight's loss. I think the Lakers have to be a million times better. We lose 127-100 to the Phoenix Suns, who had lost 5 in a row, giving up first quarter, 31 points. Second quarter, 31 points. Third quarter, 36 points. It got worse in the third. Are we going to have a repeat of last year when we come out lethargic after the halves? Come on, man. This team has to be a lot better. But look, Lakers' effort is embarrassing. Rob, wake the fuck up. No, I think, you know what, Jonathan? Rob is woken. But Rob is also very, very strategic. And that's actually counterproductive for us. Not that he's strategic, but that the fact that he's over-calculating things. There is such a thing of overthinking it. Last year, there was an opportunity to get DeJounte Murray for D'Lo. We didn't take that opportunity. We kept D'Lo. He balled out up until the playoffs arrived. The year before that, I think there was a rumor. I forgot who we were trying to acquire, and we didn't acquire anybody either. We haven't really made a significant trade since acquiring Vando, D'Lo, and Malik Beasley. That's too long. That's 2 years ago. We haven't done anything since then. Our biggest acquisition has been Dalton Connect. And while I love the rookie and I think he deserves to play, we need bigger acquisitions than that in order to make a true splash. We can't fully rely on one rookie only, right? Gabe Vincent was another bust. I was excited when we got him because he was great for Miami. But again, another player that shrinks under the limelight. Man, just incredibly disappointing and upsetting, man. My guy said the Lakers aren't good in the player development department. We always make trades to build our team. We need to start developing these young guys. That I agree with. I've been saying that for years. We Laker fans are very impatient. When we have a young talented piece, we immediately want him traded. Guys like Austin, guys like Kuzma in the past, guys like that, instead of appreciating the talent for what he is. For example, a perfect example. People love including Austin Reeves in trade packages. And I always say, unless we got a star coming back, I don't want to trade him. I don't want to trade Austin Reeves for another role player, right? Because Reeves has actually proven he can play good in the playoffs. Reeves has actually proven he could be a playmaker for us, that he has the clutch gene. He's having a bad stint right now. I don't even know what he had tonight. What did Reeves have tonight? I know he struggled for sure tonight. Austin Reeves, 6 for 12 from the field, 2 for 6 from beyond the arc for 15 points. Not good enough, man. What happened to that 19-point per game scorer who was killing it early in the season? He has to be a lot better. But that's a perfect example. Like, why are we trading young talent? Zubac is another one. We traded him for Mike Muscala, goddammit. Mike Muscala. Yeah, we do have to question Rob's intelligence. I agree, man. It is disappointing. Dan, we can still make it happen. Trades and stars playing with heart. We still have the talent. I still believe. I definitely believe in this team. However, I'm starting to lose full belief of Rob Pelinka because the last 2 seasons he's been sitting on his hands. And this coaching staff, after having a tremendous start, starting 10-4, have now lost the last 3 in a row. And now the question marks are starting to rise for sure. Right? Stace, dog. Good to see you, by the way, Stace. Let's say, where do we start from here? Well, it starts tomorrow. We have to start Dalton Connect. This is my starting lineup, okay? Austin Reeves, Dalton, Cam Reddish for defensive purposes, LeBron and AD, okay? Off the bench, you got Rui and you got D'Lo. Those 2 guys should have chemistry together. They've played together, so they should be able to, uplift us in the bench. Another thing I've always disliked from JJ, 9-man rotations. Look, Jackson Hayes potentially got hurt. We never saw Koloko tonight. That's the problem with the 9-man rotations. We should have at least a 10 to 11 to 12-man rotation in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, whatever you want. I don't care if it's 9-man. I don't care if it's 8-man in the playoffs. Knock yourself out, Redick. But I much prefer a 10 to 12. And I told you guys this before the season even started. So far, knock on wood, Dan Stradamus has been correct. Told you guys I didn't like the change to the lineup with Dalton. Now JJ's seeing what I see. I told you guys I didn't like the 9-man rotation. Injuries have been happening a lot since that 9-man rotation has happened. Because guys are overplaying minutes and they're playing out of position too. So, disappointing. Tyrone, appreciate you, my guy. He said Rob is a spy for the Celtics. Oh my God, don't even start. Don't even start, Tyrone. Don't start the conspiracy theories because if that has any truth to it, I'm gonna lose my shit. Because that's Rob is Kobe's best friend in the NBA. So he better not be playing both sides like that. Yeah, now we're the 6th seed. And you know what? We're gonna continue sliding as long as the coaching staff doesn't figure it out. Yeah, we don't have the personnel to become a championship contender right now. But we definitely have the personnel to be a top 4 seed right now with AD and LeBron. No way we should be sliding down in the West, especially considering the fact that other teams are struggling in the West as well. Right? Yeah, he definitely needs to expand his rotations. Anything other than expanding his rotations is just going to get more players injured. A lot more players injured. Let's see. Solo says, in the regular season, we should be utilizing all of our bench, especially when we are this bad. 110% agree. I think we could see that before the season started anyways, right? But look, up next, guys, tomorrow night, we got the San Antonio Spurs, okay? The San Antonio Spurs are an okay team. They're better than what they were last year for sure. But there's no way we should be losing to them, that's for sure. So we better win tomorrow. After losing tonight's game, there better be some fuel under our fire or there's going to be problems in La La Land. Okay, we got to beat the Spurs. Then we got the Thunder. We better win both of those 2 games just to get us back on track. And then followed by the Jazz on Sunday. I can easily see us getting a 3-game win streak starting tomorrow, but I could also see us going 2-1 or worse. And anything outside of a 3-game win streak is going to be a disappointment before we face the very hungry Timberwolves, who are also struggling this season, and the always hungry Miami Heat. So the schedule's not going to get easier, right? It'll get harder before it gets easier. And so we have to figure out ways to win these games. And it starts with a better rotation. It starts with a better starting lineup. It starts with so much. Like, there's so much we can do in order to improve this rotation. And teams are going to tell me we don't have what it takes to compete. That's bogus. We've actually beat some good teams this year. We beat the Kings. We've beat these very Suns that just beat the brakes off of us before. So we've done it. We're not as bad as we look. Rotations are off, and there's some dead weight on this team that needs to get cut as soon as possible. And please, I ask, please bring Quincy Olivari from the G League. Please, I beg the Lakers to do it. He would be a much better backup point guard than Gabe Vincent and D'Angelo Russell combined. And I can say that with my chest, just based off of what he did preseason Summer League and what he's doing right now during the G League. The hunger, you're talking about a guard that has the potential to pick up full court, very similar to Dennis Schroeder defensively. And then offensively, he's got Lou Williams / Malik Monk vibes. I'd love to see him get an opportunity. At least give him 10 to 15 minutes here and there. It couldn't hurt us. That's for sure. Comments, questions, concerns, guys. Now's the time to get them off. I said it. I spoke my piece, man. I still feel like crap, but you know what? Luckily, we have a game tomorrow, and hopefully we get back on track. The Lakers go on a 4-game losing streak. Armageddon's going to break loose, man. Let's see. My guy said, players, Lakers just let walk away for free. Julius, Brook Lopez, Caruso, Dwight, Scotty Pippen Jr. Yeah, that's all bad. And that's on Rob. And that's on Rob right there. We got to hold him accountable for all of that. Enough turning a blind eye to Rob Pelinka. We now have to focus on him and put, we should get Rob trending. Rob should be trending him for all the wrong reasons because he hasn't made a trade. And this guy's very strategic. He made a different press conference the day before media day for him and the coach to pretty much address why they didn't make a trade in the summer. He didn't want all that heat from media day, all the storylines from media day. He didn't want that. All right, so he went ahead and kind of diverted. And it's almost like, when you tell somebody bad news before the real bad news, that's kind of what it felt like. And I didn't like that at all. Rob Pelinka, he should have gave face as soon as the summer was over to why he didn't make a trade. And really, there should be no excuses. He should just get it done. And then if not, he should have been there media day when the storyline would have been big. All the outlets, all the national TV brand outlets, NBA TV, everybody picks it up. So this is the reason he went a day before. He thought he was slick, and he knew that media day would get us excited, seeing the players and everything, and we kind of forget about it. It worked to an extent because I don't see no pressure on Rob Pelinka right now, but they have to be a lot better, man. They have to be a lot better, I swear. He's a high Lakers fan. No moves going to happen. I fell in love in his team. Of Rob Pelinka. He said we should start Bronny James tomorrow, Dan, over D'Lo against the Spurs. Honestly, I'm willing to try anything, but that right there is not something I'm willing to try, Isaiah. Although I wouldn't mind taking all of D'Lo's minutes. Call Quincy up. Quincy has been the better of everybody. Call Armel Traore. These guys are on two-way contracts. They can only play a total of 50 games. We're wasting away their games, right? Call those guys up and give them an opportunity. Don't give guys who haven't really proven themselves. D'Angelo Russell hasn't been proving himself. He don't look like an $18 million a year player. Heck, he doesn't even look like a $4 million a year player right now, the way he's playing this season. He's absolutely stinking it up. So, again, they got to figure a lot out. And hopefully they cut the dead weight from this team. But AD and LeBron have to be better in their leadership. The coaching has to be better with better rotations. And Dalton deserves to start. And Rob Pelinka. All three of those things do their job. Then we're going to have a better outcome in the future. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough season again. So I'm hoping for the latter. They got us all excited when they started Dalton. I thought that was going to be a permanent thing. I was clamoring for it. Now you hear JJ coming out talking about, oh, maybe he's better with the starters. Duh, JJ. Get it done, man. Get it done, JJ. I was believing in you. Don't make me don't turn me into a hater like we started hating on Darvin Ham. Don't do that, JJ. It's early. It's early, JJ. So I'm going to be patient with JJ, but damn, man. Like some of these mistakes he's been doing, giving D'Lo more minutes, and, playing him over Cam Reddish in the fourth, stuff like that, it's not going to get the job done. Whew, I'm glad we got all of that out of our chest. Laker fans, how y'all feeling now, man? Talk to me, chat. How y'all feeling? Y'all feel a little bit better? We talked it out. Y'all feel worse? I obviously there's no solution yet in sight, but maybe we'll feel better after tomorrow with a win. But man, it's been tough early in the season. It's been a roller coaster, guys, so far. Like this. It's been like this. So we need a steady climb, like the stock market. We need to steadily climb it, and that hasn't happened. He said, not going to happen. JJ, part of the NBA Brotherhood. D'Lo is playing and Rookie not starting over Rui. Well, both of those things should happen. Otherwise, we're going to keep losing. And he could take that to his Brotherhood. He could take that to the bank. It always feels good to vent and leave it all out, man. If you guys did appreciate this video, please make sure to hit the like button. I truly appreciate it while you guys are in here with me right now. And then, again, we got another pregame coming up tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll hear some positive news. And that pregame will be a little closer to game time. That way we can hear if he actually made the decision, to start the right players. We'll see. We're going to find out how smart JJ is and if he can actually accept defeat and change. Because, whenever you're wrong at anything in life, this applies to anything. Whether you're in a relationship and you're wrong, it's good to apologize, say sorry, move forward, and be better. That's all you can do. JJ, nobody hates JJ. We're still all rooting for JJ. We love JJ. So far, what he's done has been good. But it was starting to look like it was going to be great. And now, like I said, it's kind of like dissipating a little bit. However, if he can make that adjustment, start Dalton and make some better decisions off the bench and maybe call up Quincy, who knows? Maybe then we can get back on track in the direction we're heading in towards. Because I don't know about you guys, but I was extremely excited when Dalton was dropping 20-point games. Like I thought that was peak Laker basketball. Dalton dropping 20s, LeBron dropping triple doubles, and AD dominating in the paint. All was good in the neighborhood. And now, man. My guy Shando said, Dan, what do you do to let go of stress during chaotic times? I leave it all out here in the room, man. I really vent with you guys. And, it feels a lot better when I leave this room. Always seeing my family, seeing my girl, spending time with my family, my girl. Gaming sometimes, cool. Getting in the booth, recording some music. Anything to take your mind off of things. But it feels good to know that there's another game tomorrow. and we're gonna have to see. We're gonna get to see if the Lakers make an improvement. I don't want anybody to go into Thanksgiving with a 2-game losing streak or with a 4-game losing streak. Let's go out, and enjoy our Thanksgiving with our family and friends with a win. Like that would be nice, right? Right? But once again, man, the Lakers play like absolute cheeks. And yeah, it was embarrassing tonight. It was so embarrassing, guys, that you kind of have to figure out when are they going to say enough is enough, have like a players only meeting and all of that. Oh, for sure, Solo. We knew for sure. When are we going to have that, players only meeting or just something to kind of change the ambience? Or I know there's a stench of losing again that there was last year that I hated. And we got to kick that to the curb, man, because man, but I think tonight the Lakers definitely deserve the Denzel Washington gift.
You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you.
I'm starting to feel like Denzel, bro. I'm starting to feel like Denzel right there on training day. Like his character, man. Like Lonzo. Starting to feel like him, man. It's horrible, but hey, hopefully we improve and tomorrow will be better. Like I said, we got an early game at 5:30. We have to show up because I'm telling you, the Spurs not going to be no walk in the park. Just Be Jano said, sup, Dan? He said, I usually just throw old school comedy on or bump some Tupac. That's, yeah, man, whatever works. I go out for a drive, go get something to eat or, like I said, music too. I've been listening to a lot of T Grizzly lately, man. I've been on my T Grizzly album. Just whatever, man. Obviously, the new Kendrick just dropped. The new Ice Cube just dropped. Whatever you guys are into, man. Just do that. As I've gotten older, I've realized that, yeah, the Lakers do matter a lot. But it's not the end of the world when we lose. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, man, I used to punch walls and shit. It felt like it was the end of the world, man. When the Lakers would lose. Like, it just felt like, damn, like, this is who we are. But in the sports world, you figure out that every day is different. Every storyline is different. That's what makes sports so fun. You never know what's going to happen from night to night. And even more so in the playoffs, you just never know what's going to happen from series to series. Like, it could be going all good, and then the Lakers meet up with a team like that one year when we lost to the Denver Nuggets, right? I thought that was going to be our year with Vando, the way he was playing LeBron AD. And then we met up with the Denver Nuggets, and we lost. We got swept. And that was like, wow, what a shocker. Like, you went from riding high to just so low. That was one of the hardest series to watch for me personally. I remember when the Lakers had Dwight, Steve Nash, Kobe, Gasol, and we were looking pretty good for a small little stint during the season. And then Kobe tore his Achilles, and then we get swept by the Spurs in the first round of the playoffs. Like, oh my goodness. Like, those are disappointing times, but there's also, this is what makes the championship so glorious. When you finally get over that mountaintop and you actually are able to win and enjoy that with your family, friends, and your team and your city, it's like no other, right? Dodger Blue, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it. I'll be honest. I like that album. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is probably my favorite Kendrick album. From the last two ones, much as I liked some of the songs, I like 3 or 4 of the songs on the album. It's not an album that I could listen to from beginning to end. And I'm a lyricist fan. Like, I'm a lyrical fan. There's a lot of little nuggets he had in there, a lot of little, subliminals that you love from Kendrick. But I'm talking about, this is an album like I will bump from beginning to end in my car. I'll probably pick out 3 songs. And again, the 3 songs I picked out, I actually saved them to my playlist because I do bump those in my car from time to time. But it wasn't like the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. You know what I mean? The 3 songs that I like from that album were Whacked Out Murals, badass song. Hey Now, featuring Dottie 6, number 5, and then Gloria, number 12. Those are my top 3 right there, man. Those are absolute bangers. I'm bumping those in my car, but outside of that, I couldn't really listen to I heard the album like twice, and the third time I couldn't really bump it all the way. There you go. Easy Money. I see you, my guy. Reincarnated goes hard as fuck. Yeah. Well, like I said, man, the last album was my favorite by Kendrick for sure. You're talking about Rocky? Rock albums? Yeah, my favorite rock album was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. It'll always be my GOAT. I could listen to that from beginning to end, man. I could. I've considered this actually. I just don't have the time right now. Maybe during the summer, bro. But rarely the fire shit drop in the summer. But yeah. I've considered this on my second channel, Primetime TV. If you guys already haven't subscribed there, make sure to go tap in over there. I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you, man. Team Money, in all caps. Okay, my guy is pissed. He said, "Dan, I'm done with D'Lo, Gabe, Rui, Wood, Vando. Make the Bulls trade. You get a center that averaged 20 and Devin Booker level score." You know what, bro? I still want that Utah Jazz deal for Walker Kessler and either Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson. I think that solves a lot of our issues. I also wouldn't mind bringing Trey Young. He doesn't fit the Atlanta Hawks at all. If we can get Trey Young, there was a trade that was presented earlier that had Gabe Vincent, had D'Lo and Rui, plus a first-round pick and a couple of seconds for Trey Young. I'd do that and then clear up the roster slots, bring in Quincy as a backup, and then go sign a big man, whether it's Dwight or somebody fresher, or make another trade on the side. Like, I'd definitely do that, man. But I'm just not sure who's going to be willing to pull the trigger with us unless we're giving up both first-round picks, is what it's been sounding like to me. I think Rob's been trying to hold out to see if he can get separate trades that don't include the first-round picks. But I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what Rob Pelinka's train of thought has been, brother. My guy said the Bulls don't want none of that. How about Young and Capella? Yeah. I mean, to match those salaries is the hard part, right? Like how much you got to send out in order to match those salaries. But yeah, that would definitely help a lot. My guy Shando's been a big fan of Clint Capella for sure. So I'm willing to, guys. And I might give you guys a separate segment at some point on just good trade ideas as we get closer to the trade deadline for the Lakers. I might have like 10 straight trades that I think are ideal or something like that. So just stay tuned for that. Cam Johnson would be a good fit too. Let's see. Shando says, what's a Laker player who didn't play well, but you wish could have had a better stint or wish you could have had a at a different time? That's a great question. Who didn't play well? All the players that I wish would have had a longer stint actually played well. Guys like Malik Monk, Lonnie Walker, Stanley Johnson, all of those guys. I think, they were here during different, except for Lonnie, but those other two guys I mentioned were here during not rebuild because LeBron was already here, but they were here at the different time, right? And I would have wished to have those guys when we had AD and LeBron and everybody else, and we're ready to compete. We'll see, man. Because sometimes they switch agencies, but stuff could still happen. I heard Trey was trying to get to San Antonio, but that never came to fruition. So maybe he'll make an exception. He'll want to come to LA. Who knows? I wish So would have had a better stint with us. Oh, that's a good one right there for sure. That's a good one. If he wasn't so injury prone, right? That's true. Yep. Isaiah Aaron Porter, Dennis Schroeder is overrated. We only balling because it's the 40 minutes. Honestly, I wouldn't mind him off the bench, but I'm not giving up a lot for him based on what he's averaging because he's not going to average that here. We've seen it. We had him here twice, right? But all right, y'all. I think that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. Again, hopefully everybody feels better after venting, but it stinks that we now go on a 3-game losing streak and fall off of the top 4 seeding. For now, hopefully we're able to reclaim that moving forward and do the right things like starting Dalton and not playing D'Angelo Russell over Cam Reddish and stuff like that, right? But I will see you guys here tomorrow for pregame, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. And love y'all, man. And we'll talk real soon, all right? Peace out.